Cuban sandwiches are one of the greatest inventions of all time. The crispy outside and the gooey inside. Well, let's make a Cuban. So we start with the pork. I'm doing a pork shoulder. But what makes it so special is the mojo marinade that it is cooked in. So we're gonna make that first. This is a really big onion, so I'm just gonna do about a quarter of it and throw it in your food processor. You could also do this in the blender. You could also just chop it up. Lots of garlic. I'm going in with about 15 cloves. You want about a quarter cup. Don't use the stuff in the jar. I'm gonna get that kind of finely chopped first. And then to that, oranges and limes. So classically, it's made with like a sour orange. We don't have that here. But to kind of create that sour flavor, you balance it out with lime. I'm doing the juice of 3 oranges and 3 limes. At the end of the day, you want about a cup of orange juice and about a half a cup of lime juice. Remember that trick? In goes the lime. Couple heaping teaspoons of oregano and about a tablespoon of cumin. Then 2 teaspoons of kosher salt and 2 teaspoons of pepper. Then I'm just gonna blend this up till it's nice and smooth, and that's our marinade. Voila. So far, nothing's been hard. This is where the flavor magic happens. You're gonna take your pork shoulder, and then you're gonna trim off the fat because we just don't need it. Place your pork shoulder into a Dutch oven, and then you're gonna make like 3 to 4 just kind of large cuts in it. That way the marinade can kind of seep in and around the pork. That's it. Put it in your fridge overnight, and then take the whole pot and stick it in the oven. 325 degrees for the first couple hours, then turn it down to 300 for about another 2 hours. Let me show you. Because I did this last night, so I have one. You know that looks good. I didn't want y'all to have to wait a whole day, but I've got to taste this. I had a dream about it last night. I'm gonna take the pork out, and then I'm gonna strain out this liquid because we want some of that just in case. That's a good piece right there. So we're just gonna take it right literally off the bone. I mean, the bone just comes right out. Taste that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This could make a ton of sandwiches, okay? Once I've got it in big shreds, I'm just gonna take my knife and kind of chop it up just to make it easier to build the sandwich. Meal prep for the sandwich, meal prep for your week. I'm gonna keep it in the liquid gold because all that citrus flavor is what we want. Woo! Wish y'all could taste it. Hard part is over, and it wasn't hard. The other components to the perfect Cuban bread is special. If you can't find it, you could just use like French bread or something. It's a really light loaf of bread, but the inside is still like really soft. Mustard, and I'm really gonna ruffle some feathers here in a minute. Ham from the deli, doesn't matter what kind. Swiss cheese, and pickles. If you didn't wanna do it like party style, you just wanna make a singular sandwich, you can on whatever bread you want to. Just make sure it can get crispy on the outside. So I'm gonna take my bread, just kinda cut off the ends, and I'm gonna cut it into like this size sandwich. Okay, and here's how you build. Slice your bread in half, and then I'm gonna toast the inside just a little bit to keep anything from getting soggy. Take a little butter, smear it on. All right, and then just into your skillet, your pan's heating up, your bread is toasting. Then we build. Bread is toasty. Okay, I know a Cuban sandwich just has mustard, but Nicole's Cuban just has a little bit of mayonnaise in there. It just adds this little bit of richness to the sandwich that I think is delightful. So don't be telling me mayonnaise doesn't go on there. It goes on mine. But it's more mustard than mayonnaise, okay? So I like to go ahead and mix them together and then spread it. So onto the bottom piece, some of our mayo mustard mixture. All right, then I'm putting half of the cheese at this point. To that, our delicious pork. On top of that, our ham. Then the pickles. Go in this direction because it gives me an opportunity to put an extra one on there. Then the other half of the cheese, and then a little more sauce, just a light coating on the top. Before this becomes a true Cuban, it's gotta get pressed. But before I do that, let's make our cocktail. They have everything in here. I just like that fine sugar. I also wanna see if they have the good rum. And by they, I mean the test kitchens. Smells good. What smells this? Let's make the drink. For a mojito, take some lime. You'll want to kind of wash the outside because the lime goes straight into your drink. Into the bottom, and you're going to go ahead and add in 2 teaspoons of sugar. And the star of the show, 5 mint leaves. And then you take your muddler. You could also use just the bottom of a wooden spoon. And you start making some juice. When that lime juice mixes with the sugar, you're creating just deliciousness down here. Let the sugar dissolve a bit, and that's it. We add in our rum, a good shot. Our ice. And then you top it off with some club soda. If you like your drinks a little bit sweeter, you could use something like Sprite. Yeah. If you just cannot see how refreshing that is. Oh, God, that is so good. You know why it's so good? Because I don't have them like throughout the year at all until the weather changes, and this is the perfect drink to go with the Cuban because it's so rich, but this is so refreshing. Perfect balance. All right, let's press that Sammy. Cooking cocktail. To the bottom of the sandwich, I'm gonna spread a little more butter straight into the skillet. Then you're gonna use another heavy skillet as your weight. If you only have one cast iron skillet, then use a different skillet for the bottom and use your heavy one to press it down. So before we flip, you're gonna spread just a little more butter along the top and then just flip and press one more time. We call this the crusty scrape dance. Oh, that makes me so happy. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's got it all. Y'all, that pickle though, the cheese, the mustard, pork, totally worth it to roast it yourself and make it just like this. I just want to go to Key West. The sandwich is not like bread heavy. You get the best part of the bread, which is the crusty edge. It's just all about the meat, cheese, and pickles, and mustard. It's so good. Match made in heaven. They know what they're doing down there. I declare this Cuban the sandwich of the year. You've got to try it and let me know when you do. And don't forget the mojito. Cheers. This was an A+.